First tonight in our top story, today was a big day for local veterans. After years of hard work, construction officially began on a new veterans home in Marquette County. Local leaders, including the governor and Congressman Jack Bergman, joined veterans to celebrate this milestone. MyUP's Skylar Perkins was on scene and he leads us off tonight. Skylar?
This site was chosen and we couldn't be happier. Very happy. Knowing our lifelong protectors will not only have an army of folks to protect them, but we've got your six. Hoorah!
After over half a decade, a new home for veterans in Michigan's Upper Peninsula is finally no longer just some ideas on paper. It's a project that has seen its fair share of hurdles, from grant funding to finding the right spot to build it. But on Friday, local and state leaders gathered to break ground and celebrate the beginning of its construction.
This new home will bear an old name, Dominic J. Jacobetti.
But that'll be about where the similarities end. While the soon-to-be former site exists as a renovated form of the century-old St. Mary's Hospital, the new facility is set to have a ground-level, community-based layout designed purposefully for them.
What we're building here isn't just a facility, it's a whole.
What you'll see here are private rooms, private bathrooms.
A place where our veterans can have the privacy and dignity that they deserve, can commune around coffee stations and fireplaces and get their hair cut on the premises.
Congressman Jack Bergman hailed the milestone as a step forward that could have an impact beyond the UP.
We are setting the example for future veterans home, not only here in Michigan, but around the country.
Zerbe said the plan is to move in over 100 residents when the project is complete, which is expected to happen in the spring of 2028. But for now, there's a lot to get done before then.
Now let's move some dirt.
Thank you.
In Marquette Township, I'm Skylar Perkins for MyUP News.
Thank you, Skylar. After that ceremony, we caught up with Representative Jack Bergman. With so much talk about federal funding cuts lately, and with 2/3 of that project relying on it, we asked him if he feels confident that this project like this won't face cuts in the future. Here's what he had to say.
Yes, the federal funding is secure. What we have to be very mindful of within the Veterans Administration at the federal level is not wasting dollars that are federally funded on bureaucratic procedures or bureaucratic, whatever you want to call it, that don't add value to the veteran.
Bergman voting yes this week to what is known as the Big Beautiful Bill, which narrowly passed the House. House Republicans advancing tax cuts, spending cuts, and changes to Medicaid, food aid, and stricter work requirements for government assistance. Especially because of it targeting Medicaid, the bill faces potential challenges in the Senate. And staying with Medicaid-related news, earlier this week, the Michigan Senate voting to send a message to the federal government asking legislators to save Medicaid. Republicans say the resolution is political maneuvering based on unfounded fears that talks of cuts are targeted to fraud, waste, and abuse. Michigan Senate Democrats are concerned about cuts to benefits, and Resolution 50 passed, but with only 2 GOP senators in favor. State Senator Ed McBroom voting not to urge the federal government to save Medicaid, in large part because he said he didn't know about the resolution and wanted more constituent engagement on the topic. MyUP News took to social media to conduct a poll on the topic, albeit unscientific. Here are the results. We asked the Upper Peninsula community if they were concerned about cuts to Medicaid or if they had no worries. There's a bit more time left to take that poll on our Facebook page, but so far, 64% of respondents, or 285 people, said that they were worried about federal cuts to Medicaid, and 36% of respondents, or 166 people, saying that they were not worried about Medicaid cuts. Again, there's still time to chime in there, and you can just head over to our Facebook page, MyUP Now, on Facebook. And Michigan House Republicans have approved a ban on transgender girls participating in female K-12 sports. The bills passed Thursday would define eligibility based on sex listed on the students' original birth certificates. This legislation allows students to sue schools for non-compliance. Supporters argue that it ensures fair competition, citing a recent UN report claiming that transgender women in sports negatively impact opportunities for cisgender females. However, opponents, including the state's first openly non-binary lawmaker, Emily Divendorf, warning that these measures promote discrimination and bullying. With no current transgender girls participating in female high school sports in Michigan, the bills face an uphill battle in the democratically controlled Senate. Stay tuned for updates on that developing story.